The galaxy believed it knew humans. That belief was about to die. The war did not start with weapons. It started with fear. For centuries, the Galactic Union had shared one dark story. Humans were predators. Not the loud kind, not the savage kind. They were quiet hunters. They smiled when others screamed. They waited when others rushed. And worst of all, they ate their enemies. At least, that was what everyone believed. When the human exploration ship Aegis Dawn crossed into Union space, panic spread faster than light. Worlds closed their borders. Fleets were armed. Emergency councils were called. No one wanted humans near their planets. On the outer edge of the Union, on a small rocky world called Virex 9, an alien scout named Lyra was running out of places to hide. Lyra was young, even by her species standards. Her green skin was marked with natural patterns that glowed faintly when she was afraid. Her long red hair was tangled with dust and blood. She had been sent to watch the humans, not to meet them. But things had gone wrong. The Union fleet had attacked first. They believed humans would strike eventually, so they decided to act before that could happen. Hundreds of ships jumped in around the Aegis Dawn. A warning was sent. Then weapons fired. The human ship did not return fire. Instead, it stopped moving. That confused everyone. Then the Union fleet made a bigger mistake. They boarded the ship. Lyra had watched from orbit as the boarding teams entered the human vessel. She had expected screams, explosions, chaos. There was none. Minutes later, every boarding signal went silent. No bodies were returned. No messages came back. Just silence. That was when the fear became real. Lyra's ship was damaged during the retreat. She crash-landed on Virex 9, far from any city. Her communicator was broken. Her weapon was lost. And the sky burned with falling wreckage. She was alone. Hours later, as the dust settled, she felt it. A presence. Heavy footsteps behind her. She turned slowly. A human stood there. He was taller than her, wrapped in dark clothing and armor marked with strange symbols. His helmet was off. His face was calm. Too calm. Lyra's heart raced. Her species had no natural predators. Fear was new to her body, sharp and painful. She dropped to her knees without thinking. "Don't eat me, human," she said, her voice shaking. The words tasted strange, but they were honest. The human stopped walking. For a long moment, he said nothing. He simply looked at her. His eyes were focused, not hungry, not angry. He smiled. That smile terrified her more than a weapon ever could. "Relax," he said softly. "That's not how we hunt." Lyra did not understand. Her mind filled the silence with horror. She imagined teeth, blood, pain. She bowed her head and waited. Instead, the human knelt down. That was worse. He reached into his pack. Lyra flinched, expecting the end. He pulled out a small device and placed it on the ground between them. It projected symbols in the air. Food rations, medical aid, water. He pushed them toward her. "Eat," he said. "You're hurt." Lyra stared at the food, confused. Predators did not share food. Predators did not heal prey. "You won't eat me?" she asked. "No," the human replied. "You're not our enemy." That word made her shake. Enemy. The Union had told her humans saw everyone as food, but this human spoke of enemies, not meals. "Then why did your kind destroy our boarding teams?" she asked, gathering courage. The human's smile faded. "We didn't destroy them," he said. "We contained them." Her eyes widened. "Contained?" "They're alive," he continued, "disarmed, safe, waiting." Waiting. For what? "For the truth," he said. Lyra's glowing markings pulsed faster. The human stood and looked toward the burning sky. "You attacked us without knowing who we are," he said. "That's not war. That's fear." Lyra felt shame crawl through her chest. "Our leaders said you would hunt us," she whispered. He looked back at her. "We do hunt," he said calmly, "but not bodies." She swallowed. "Then what do humans hunt?" He paused, choosing his words. We hunt outcomes, control, futures. The ground shook as ships moved above the clouds. Human ships, more than she could count. They were not firing. They were positioning, surrounding the system, claiming it without a single shot. Lyra realized then what the Union had truly misunderstood. Humans did not rush. Humans did not panic. Humans waited until the galaxy defeated itself. And then they stepped in. The human extended his hand to her. "Come," he said. "This war just started, and you're going to help us end it." Lyra hesitated, then took his hand. Above them, the galaxy watched in silence, and for the first time, it began to understand why humans were feared. The human ship did not look like a war machine from the inside. That confused Lyra even more. As she walked beside the human through the open landing bay, she expected cold metal, sharp edges, and weapons everywhere. Instead, the walls were smooth, clean, and warm with soft white light. The air smelled fresh. There were no cages, no blood, no screams. Other humans passed them. Some wore armor, others simple uniforms. They looked at Lyra with curiosity, not hunger. A few nodded at her. One even smiled gently. Her fear did not disappear, but it changed. It became heavy confusion. The human who had found her was called Captain Hale. He walked with calm steps, as if the galaxy was not on the edge of war. "You are safe here," he said as they moved deeper into the ship. Lyra wrapped her arms around herself. "Your fleet has surrounded our system," she said. "That is not safety." Hale stopped and looked at her. "We did that to stop more fighting," he replied. "Your leaders are scared. Scared leaders make fast choices." Lyra remembered the emergency council, the shouting, the fear in their voices when the word human was spoken. "They believe you will destroy us," she said quietly. Hale sighed. "We know." They entered a large room filled with screens showing different star systems. Some showed Union ships regrouping. Others showed human vessels holding position, unmoving. "They attacked first," Lyra said, "but they believed it was survival." Hale turned one of the screens off. "Survival does not mean blind violence," he said. "It means understanding the threat." Lyra hesitated before speaking again. "Why didn't you destroy them when you could?" Hale looked at her, his eyes steady. "Because we already won." The words struck her harder than any weapon. "You lost boarding teams," she said. "You lost ships." "We lost nothing important," he answered. "And we gained something valuable." "What?" she asked. "Proof," he said. "Proof that the Union fears stories more than truth." Lyra felt her markings glow faintly. Those stories, they were old, passed down for generations. Hale nodded. "We know how that happens." They walked again, stopping before a sealed chamber. Hale placed his hand on a scanner. The door opened slowly. Inside were dozens of aliens from different species. Union soldiers, scientists, commanders. They were alive, unhurt, sitting calmly, though fear filled their eyes when they saw Hale. Lyra stepped back in shock. "You said they were contained," she whispered. "Yes," Hale said, "because killing them would prove their stories right." One of the prisoners spoke. "Why are we alive?" his voice demanded. Hale walked forward. "Because war ends faster when lies die first." Silence filled the room. Lyra understood then. Humans were not fighting bodies, they were fighting beliefs. "Your leaders think we eat our enemies," Hale continued. "So we let them believe it. Fear makes people careless." Lyra looked at him. "You used the lie." "We used their fear," he corrected. The ship suddenly vibrated. A soft alarm sounded, not urgent, but firm. A voice echoed through the hall. "Captain, Union Command has opened a channel." Hale smiled slightly. "Good. They're ready to talk." Lyra's chest tightened. "They will not listen to me." "They will," Hale said, "because you are alive." They moved to the communication chamber. A massive screen lit up, showing the faces of Union leaders. Fear was clear in their eyes when they saw Hale. Panic deepened when they noticed Lyra standing beside him. "Lyra!" one of them gasped. You were reported lost. I was, she said. And then I was found. The council demanded answers. Accusations filled the air. Words like predators, butchers, monsters were thrown without care. Hale waited. He did not interrupt. When the shouting slowed, he spoke. You attacked us, he said calmly. We did not respond with force. That should tell you something. One leader sneered. You captured our people! Yes, Hale replied. Alive, fed, protected. The room fell quiet. If we were what you fear, Hale continued, this conversation would not exist. Lyra stepped forward before she lost her courage. They don't eat us, she said. They never planned to. Shock spread across the council. They hunt control, she added, not bodies. Hale nodded once. We came to explore, he said, to observe, to learn. Your attack gave us data. Your fear gave us leverage. Is this a threat? A leader asked. No, Hale said. This is an offer. The council waited. We withdraw our fleet, Hale said. You release your fear. We return your people. You tell the truth. And if we refuse? Another leader asked. Hale's eyes hardened slightly. Then we will still win, just slower. The message was clear. The channel closed without an answer. Lyra felt her legs shake. They will not accept easily. Hale turned to her. Change never comes easily. Outside the ship, Union fleets began to move again. Not to attack, but to reorganize. Lyra watched the stars shift on the screens. Why me? She asked quietly. Why keep me alive? Hale looked at her. Because wars end when someone crosses the line between sides. Her markings dimmed as understanding settled in. She was no longer just a scout. She was a bridge, and bridges were dangerous to stand on. As the human fleet held position, the galaxy waited. Fear had started this war. Understanding would decide how it ended. The waiting was worse than the fear. Lyra stood beside the wide observation window, watching Union ships drift in slow, careful patterns. They did not fire. They did not retreat. They hovered, unsure of their next move. Inside the human ship, everything remained calm. Too calm. Captain Hale spoke quietly with his officers. No one rushed. No one raised their voice. Orders were given once and followed without question. To Lyra, this silence felt more powerful than shouting fleets. They are arguing, Hale said, looking at the data on a screen. How do you know? Lyra asked. Because nothing is happening, he replied. Minutes passed, then hours. Lyra's thoughts returned to her homeworld, to her family, to the stories she had grown up with. Stories where humans were monsters hiding behind smiles. Stories that now felt weak and broken. A soft chime echoed through the chamber. Captain, a voice said, Union Command requests a private channel. One representative. Hale turned to Lyra. They want control of the message, he said. That means cracks are forming. The screen came alive. One figure appeared. An older alien with pale skin and deep-set eyes. High Counselor Varric. I will speak, Varric said, without interruption. Hale nodded. Go ahead. You have placed us in an impossible position, Varric continued. Our people are afraid. Your ships surround us. Our stories say you will consume us. Hale remained silent. Varric's eyes shifted to Lyra. And yet, she lives. Yes, Hale said simply. Why? Varric asked. Because fear is not a crime, Hale replied. But acting on lies is. Varric inhaled slowly. You could have crushed us. Yes, but you didn't. No. Silence stretched. What do you want? Varric finally asked. Hale leaned forward slightly. We want the truth broadcast across your systems, not from us, from you. Varric's eyes narrowed. If we admit we were wrong, our authority weakens. Hale nodded. If you don't, your people will die slowly from fear. Lyra felt the weight of those words. Varric looked away. You play a long game, human. We always do, Hale answered. The channel closed again. Lyra exhaled. "He is scared," she said. "Good," Hale replied. "Fear makes people honest." Later, Lyra was escorted to a quiet room. Food was provided, clean water, time to think. She did not sleep. She wondered what would happen if the Union refused. She wondered how many worlds would burn before understanding replaced fear. A sudden tremor shook the ship. Alarm sounded, louder this time. Lyra rushed into the corridor, her heart racing. Hale was already moving toward the command deck. "What happened?" she asked. "Unauthorized movement," Hale said. "Union strike group." The screens lit up with red warnings. A small fleet was breaking formation, weapons charging. "They are going to attack," Lyra whispered. "No," Hale said calmly. "They are going to fail." The human fleet did not move. The Union ships fired. Bright beams tore through space, then vanished. "They missed," Lyra said in shock. "They didn't," Hale corrected. "We redirected. Human technology bent energy, shifted trajectories, absorbed force. The Union ships suddenly found their own weapons turned harmlessly aside. No explosions, no deaths, just silence. The attacking ships powered down, helpless. "They see now," Hale said. "Violence no longer works." Union Command opened a full broadcast channel. This time, many faces appeared. "We yield," Varric said, his voice strained. "But our people will not accept this easily." "They will," Hale replied, "because you will show them." "Show them what?" Varric asked. Hale looked at Lyra. "The truth," he said. The transmission expanded across the Union network. Billions watched as captured Union personnel walked free, unharmed, fed, alive. Then Lyra was brought forward. She stood before the camera, her fear visible but controlled. "I believed the stories," she said. "I believed humans hunted us." She paused, steadying herself. "They do hunt," she continued. "They hunt fear, lies, control." The galaxy listened. "They could have killed me," she said. "Instead, they listened." Silence followed her words. Varric spoke again. "The Union attacked without understanding. That was our failure." Gasps echoed across the systems. Lyra felt something shift, not in space, but in minds. The broadcast ended. Outside, Union ships began to withdraw slowly. Not in defeat, but in thought. Lyra leaned against the wall, exhausted. "You did well," Hale said. "I was terrified," she replied. He smiled. "That means you were honest." She looked at him. "What happens now?" Hale turned to the stars. "Now," he said, "the real danger begins." Lyra frowned. "Danger from who?" "From those who profit from fear," Hale answered. "And they don't surrender quietly." Somewhere beyond the edges of Union space, signals moved. Old powers listened. The galaxy had seen humans spare their enemies, and not everyone liked that. The galaxy did not calm down after the broadcast. It fractured. Some worlds accepted the truth quickly. Trade lanes reopened. Messages of apology reached human channels. Civilian populations felt relief for the first time since the word human had entered their history. Other worlds reacted very differently. They called the broadcast a trick, a staged performance, a human lie designed to weaken the Union from the inside. Fear had lived too long in their minds to die in one day. Lyra saw the reports as they arrived. "Riots on Kesh Prime," an officer said. "Union citizens attacking their own council." "Border systems refusing Union authority," another reported. Hale listened, his face unreadable. "Fear doesn't vanish," he said. "It mutates." The human fleet slowly reduced its visible presence. Ships pulled back from the system, not as retreat, but as trust-building. Every move was calculated. "Some will see this as weakness," Lyra said. "They already do," Hale replied. A new signal appeared on the long-range scanners. Not Union, not human, unknown. The bridge grew quiet. "Origin?" Hale asked. "Beyond mapped space," an officer answered. Old technology, very old. Lyra felt a chill. There are others, she whispered. Ancient ones. Hale nodded. We suspected. The signal repeated, broadcasting on a frequency designed to be heard by many species. A message followed. Fear is useful, the voice said. Do not let it die. The words echoed through the bridge. Who are they? Lyra asked. Observers, Hale replied. Manipulators. Screens filled with images, massive structures hidden between stars, fleets that had never shown themselves. They guided the stories, Hale continued, whispered them into early civilizations, turned caution into terror. Lyra's chest tightened. They made us fear you. They made everyone fear everyone, Hale said. It keeps the galaxy divided. Another message arrived. You have disrupted balance, the voice said. Withdraw or be erased. Lyra looked at Hale. This is war. Hale shook his head. This is exposure. The human response was not weapons, it was information. Across Union space, across neutral systems, human archives opened. Historical data, star charts, evidence of manipulated conflicts, patterns too clear to ignore. Worlds began to connect the dots. They are showing everyone, Lyra said. Everything. Yes, Hale replied. Truth spreads faster than fear once it starts. The unknown fleet moved closer. They fired first. The attack was precise, surgical. One human ship vanished in a flash of light. Lyra gasped. They killed them. Hale closed his eyes for a moment. No survivors, an officer confirmed. The bridge remained silent. Then Hale spoke, his voice steady. Send the message. To whom? Lyra asked. To everyone, Hale replied. The broadcast was short. Humans do not hunt bodies, Hale said. We hunt threats. The human fleet changed formation. This time they advanced. Not with rage, with purpose. Space twisted as human technology unfolded in ways the galaxy had never seen. The unknown ships fired again, but their weapons failed. Systems shut down. Power drained. They were not destroyed. They were stopped. The unknown voice returned, weaker now. You will break the cycle, it said. Chaos will follow. Freedom will follow, Hale answered. The enemy fleet froze in space, helpless. Union and neutral worlds watched in awe. Lyra felt tears form. You could end them, she said. Yes, Hale replied, but then we become them. The unknown ships were imprisoned, not erased. Their secrets were exposed. Their influence collapsed. Across the galaxy, fear lost its masters. But not everyone felt relief. New powers rose. Old alliances cracked. The galaxy began to change faster than anyone expected. Lyra stood beside Hale, looking at the stars. What happens when fear is gone? She asked. Hale was quiet for a long time. People must choose who they want to be, he said. The choice had begun. And not all would choose wisely. The days that followed felt heavier than the war itself. Without fear guiding them, the galaxy struggled to find balance. Old alliances weakened. New voices rose. Some worlds reached out to humans with hope. Others watched silently, unsure if trust was another trap. Lyra became something she never expected to be. A symbol. News channels across the Union showed her image. Not as a victim, but as a witness. The alien who stood beside a human and lived. The proof that the stories were lies. She did not feel strong. She felt tired. You should rest, Hale told her as they watched reports scroll across the main screen. If I stop, Lyra said, the fear comes back. Hale nodded. That's the danger of change. It needs faces. A new council formed within the Union, smaller, less powerful. More watched. Lyra was asked to speak before them. She stood in the center of the chamber, surrounded by leaders who no longer hid behind certainty. We were taught to fear humans, she said. That fear nearly destroyed us. Some nodded. Others looked away. The humans did not ask us to kneel, she continued. They asked us to understand. One leader stood. And if they leave? What stops another power from rising? Lyra hesitated. Hale's words returned to her. Fear will always exist, she said, but it should not rule us. Outside the chamber, protests erupted. Not against humans, but against the old storytellers. Those who had spread lies for generations were being questioned. Some resisted, violently. A transmission reached the human fleet. Breakaway factions were attacking border worlds, using stolen technology, using fear again. They are trying to bring it back, Lyra whispered. Hale's expression hardened. Then we end the lesson. The human response was swift but controlled. Strike teams disabled ships without destruction. Broadcasts followed every action, showing restraint, transparency, and purpose. The galaxy watched humans stop violence without becoming violent. That changed everything. Lyra stood before a massive audience once more. They are not our rulers, she said. They are our mirror. Silence followed. A message arrived from the imprisoned manipulators. You are making the galaxy unstable, the voice warned. Fear kept order. Hale responded publicly. Fear kept control, he said. We choose risk. The manipulators had no answer. Across the stars, young civilizations began rewriting their histories, removing lies, questioning myths, asking who benefited from fear. But not all wounds healed. Some worlds closed themselves off, choosing isolation over trust. Lyra visited one such world through a broadcast. We don't want humans here, their leader said. Lyra nodded. That's your choice. Just don't let fear choose for you. The transmission ended peacefully. Later, alone, Lyra asked Hale, What if this all collapses? Hale looked at her. Then we try again. She smiled faintly. You really believe that? He smiled back. That's why we win. The galaxy was changing, slowly, painfully, but honestly. One final gathering was announced. A shared assembly between humans and Union worlds. Not a treaty, not an alliance, a conversation. Lyra prepared to speak again, knowing this might be the last time her voice mattered. Above her, the stars felt closer than ever. The old war was over. The future waited. And it would not be easy. The assembly did not look like victory. There were no banners, no cheers, no declarations of peace. There was only a circle of voices. Representatives from human worlds and Union systems stood together in a shared station at the edge of known space. No one sat higher than another. No weapons were visible. Security was present, but distant. Lyra stood near the center. She felt small. That was good. Captain Hale watched from the edge, silent as always. This moment was not for him. A Union elder spoke first. For generations, fear shaped our laws. It gave us safety, but it also gave us lies. A human delegate answered. Fear kept us alive once too, but it also kept us alone. The conversation moved slowly, carefully. Worlds spoke of losses, of mistakes, of shame. No one denied what had happened. That honesty changed the room. When it was Lyra's turn, she stepped forward. I was afraid, she said simply. I thought a human would eat me. A soft ripple of quiet moved through the chamber. He didn't, she continued. He listened. She looked around the circle. If the strongest among us can choose restraint, then fear does not deserve power anymore. No applause followed, just understanding. A decision was made without ceremony, not a single government, not a single ruler. A shared rule. No civilization would be judged by stories alone again. Human fleets would not stay. They would not occupy. They would observe, assist when asked, and leave when not needed. Trust would be earned, not enforced. As the assembly ended, Lyra walked beside Hale through a long corridor. It's done, she said. It's begun, he replied. They stopped near an observation window. Stars moved slowly beyond the glass. What will humans do now? Lyra asked. Hale thought for a moment. We'll go back to watching, he said. Waiting. For what? She asked. For the next lie, he answered, so we can stop it early. Lyra smiled. That sounds lonely. Hale returned the smile. It is, but it's worth it. A transport arrived to take Lyra home. At the door, she turned to him. You never told me why you smiled when I begged you not to eat me. Hale laughed quietly. Because, he said, if we were the monsters they feared, the galaxy would already be dead. Lyra stepped onto the transport. As it departed, messages spread across the stars. Not warnings, not threats. Stories. New ones. Stories where humans were not devourers but guardians of choice. Stories where fear lost its throne. And somewhere in the vast silence of space, the galaxy learned the truth. Humans do not hunt bodies. They hunt the darkness that makes others believe they must. The end.